As we continue the build-up to the climax of the season, that is, of course, the end of the season, 31st of July, and before that, we've got another biggie to come through from KZN. It will be back to Hollywood Bets Greyville for the 2024-2025 Gold Cup meeting, which is eagerly awaited. We've got racing coming through from the capital, Pietermaritzburg Scottsville Racecourse, and they host an 8-race program on the 20th of July, starting at 12:25. Well, to help us through, and a man who certainly is not afraid to take a chance, irrespective of the price. If he likes what he sees in a horse, he will banker it. That is, of course, Len Mayhew. Len, a very, very warm welcome to you. We are recording on a Friday for Sunday, so a few things may just come through that change between now and then, but it's good to speak to you again.
Good morning, Cecil. Yes, nice to see you back in the saddle again. We've got an 8-race program for Sunday. So Bipot starts in the first race. Cecil, of the race runners, nothing in particular stands out, although a few do have scope for improvement. And just judging by trainer Dean Cannemeyer's comments about his well-bred first-timer Green Gateway, the symptoms point to him as the likely winner. However, for the Bipot purposes, I'm going to back him up with the 8-horse Mojave Prince, as I don't particularly like banking first-timers and exotics.
Okay, so 8 and 10 would be the ideal situation to hopefully see us through. And I think, as you rightly say, the 10 Green Gateway, well, the stable on a high, and some good pedigree. There are some multiple winners in the bloodline. So that is Len's selections. 288 Rand is the total outlay to that Bipot, but nothing stops you from taking the percentage. And of course, look forward to race 5 and that banker in that fourth leg, and that would be number 1. Walkie-talkie, am I getting it right? No, that would be race number 4. Number 1, and that is Gavin Arena's mounted, that being Flying South. Bet with Tote Maiden Plate is the Phillies and Mayors 1,000-meter event. That is race number 2, where the place accumulator starts, and I've just got to get myself in that 8-race mode, and that is what tripped me up in the preceding race. But here we've got quite an open-looking race. I mean, 7-2 is about the price you'll get for the likely joint favourites. 8 Queen Fen and the 9 De Rosa. I'm just looking at some betting guides, forecast betting. The 6 Miss Kansas in the colours of Mr. Nick Johnson. Very good to see Rachel Fenniger back. In fact, she gets straight into the saddle in race number 1 on Black Forest. She teams up with the Mace Robert stable with a One World, who had a very good debut, and then the last time out, things didn't quite go well, stumbled at the start, fly jumped, etc. Everything that can go wrong with a young horse, but hopefully they'll put it all together. Len, the 6 Miss Kansas in a part of your equation, or are you looking elsewhere?
Yes, so look, this race really has a tricky look to it, and I'm suggesting that the punters include a few in the place accumulator and the Bipot. Miss Kansas, she ran well below her expectations last time, but that was clearly not her run, and I think she'll make improvement on Sunday. Along with the 7-horse Champagne Problems, who should be better suited to this 1,000-meter strip, and I've also included Fen and the 9.
Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9. That, in an ideal world, should definitely guarantee us a passage through into the second leg, if not double or even a treble up in race number 2. Please get those PAs on by 1 o'clock. That's the start to race number 2 at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. Another maiden plate will see the start of the pick 6 at Hollywood Bets Scottsville. It is over the 1,400 meters. And just looking at the betting, well, there's no doubt a worthy favourite, certainly on exposed form, though has had quite a few chances, 9 in total. That is Catch a Penny from an informer Glenn Cotson stable with championship leader, as far as the jockey is concerned, Gavin Arena at around 17 to 10. Thereafter, you're looking at the 8 next of kin. That's your next best. That's Matthew and Mike DeCock. Lightly raced in the colours of the ownership, the Hollywood Racing, and that is at 28 to 10. 6s and better bar those. Carnival Park, well, that has got a look of a place getter at least. But what are we seeing? Are we seeing a chance of a banker here, Mr. Mayhew?
Cecil, it's a small but a competitive field, and I'll give quite a few runners a winning chance here. Catch Penny has caught punters on more than one occasion. As she's been a beaten favourite in 6 of her 9 runs to date. Look, but credit must go to her because as an owner, she's an owner's dream. You know, she's earned a stake check every time that she set foot on the racecourse. In her favour, she's got leading jock Gavin Larena aboard. But whether that will change her habit of avoiding the winner's box remains to be seen. I feel that each and every runner is capable of winning, on the day. So I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to put the field in the pick 6. But for the PAs, I think I'm going to take a chance, obviously, and banker the ever-consistent Catch Penny.
Okay, so it's the field, as Lenny just pointed out there in that first leg of the pick 6, but we do have a banker. Gavin Larena is the common denominator there in leg 2, and then in the last leg, it is Kabela Matsunyane who will carry many people's hope, and I think we will get to that last leg, and it's a case of I think the famous Sir Alex Ferguson statement, it will be an uncomfortable sitting position you take come race 8. Right, we get honor to one of the shorter priced favorites on the card. It is in race number 4, and yes, indeed, that was one of the bankers suggested by Len. It is a Flying South in a very famous source indeed of the Vosfontein stud nominee, Mr. John Carmenson. It's at 11 to 20 Gavin Larena for the first time aboard for the very red-hot Glenna Cotson stable. The only other one that can be considered in terms of the markets is the 6 Miss Twinkle, by virtue of being lightly raced, and there could be lots of improvement to come from this 3-year-old daughter of Oratorio out of a Captain Almare. Twinkletoes Serena Moodley retains the ride, and that is also a bonus. Serena riding with a lot of confidence. Right, Mr. Mayhew, tell us, Flying South, nothing to worry about elsewhere. Yes, races are not won on paper, but if there were, this is your proverbial your penalty kick, is it?
Cecil, yeah, well, the fact that it is a weak field makes it stronger. She's improving with each and every run, and I think she's going to love the extra distance. Although it is a bit of a jump going from 1,000 to the 14, but I don't think it's a problem. As I said, it's a weak field, and she deserves her place at the top of the boards. I think she's a worthy banker in the pick 6. For exactas, next best, I would say the 6 horse Miss Twinkle, and also the 10 Skipper O'Malley.
Skipper O'Malley, thank you very much, Lena. That is another informed stable. Wendy Whitehead sending out the 10 Skipper O'Malley with an equally informed and confident Calvin Abib aboard. That is race number 4, banker. Number 1, Flying South. Now we move on to race number 5. This is C Stakes, and that'll see the start of a jackpot 2. The distance is 2,400 meters, and you've got the ultra consistent number 3, Escapologist, as your favorite. In fact, is fighting for favoritism with the Mace Roberts train number 7, Chill in the Air. They're both at around 3 to 1 and 33 to 10. Again, this is just a betting guide. Number 4, Shiny Bob, 4 to 1, 6 to 1, and better bar those. Well, Cole Dickin retains a ride on Escapologist, and rightly so. I mean, from 17 rides, he's booted home the 5-year-old daughter of Lingari to victory on 5 occasions, a couple of seconds, a couple of thirds, and a fourth. So 5 out of 6 wins have come with a Cole aboard. Meets or renews rivalries with the likes of the 2 Bad Medicine, the 5 Barsi Rakvat, and the 8 Truman Trojan on the same weight differential, so shouldn't be any reason to expect it form turnaround. But it's the Mace Roberts charge that we're a bit worried about. What are your thoughts there, Len?
Yes, Cecil. Look, Chill in the Air looks to be a very useful stayer in the making, and it's good to see Rachel back in the saddle. She's reuniting, with Chill in the Air. She knows him well, and I think they are the one to beat. Then obviously the 3 horse Escapologist, she won over the course and distance just about a month ago. And I mean, she beats Bad Medicine and Barsi Rockfort on the same terms. The weights are the same. So strictly speaking, she has them both safely held. But as you know, racing is not an exact science, and sometimes it turns the form book upside down. But an interesting one for me is the 9 horse, Lady My Lady. She's bred to stay the strip, and she could cause a problem for some of the heavyweights. So I would include her.
Yeah, Stay will know a thing or two about training horses that go over ground. A lady, my lady, that is on Renell, and apprentice JC Bortus with his 4 kg claim. So he'll be carrying a postage stamp of 49. 379. Those are the first three. Those are the three horses in the first leg of Jackpot 2. All right, we talk about pick threes as the last chance to get involved in that particular bet comes about with race 6 Toad for the win, class 4. But in the mares will be going over the dash of 1,000 meters. And now Len alluded to Catch a Penny as being a nice horse to own, 9 runs and has earned 9 stake checks. I think Escapologist in the preceding race can fall into that category. And so does the favorite in race number 6, the 5, a Vision to Achieve, but also does do its fair share of winnings. This 4-year-old daughter of Vercingetorix tops the boards at 28 to 10. Gavlarina, once again, he's been aboard 3 times for 2 wins and a second. I think that tells you the story. Icy Eleanor was one of those that was beaten by Vision to Achieve, Mr. Mayhew. That was on the poly. Could that have been the reason for Icy Eleanor's run? It says he hit gate, hurt, short, and that is it, or Polly had something to do with it as well?
Well, that's it, Cecil. She ran below expectations last time, but the word was out that the stable fancied her very strongly, and but she was reported that she hit the gate and hurt herself, and also the fact that possibly she didn't enjoy the potty track. So I'm prepared to ignore that run and give her another chance. She should be a lot closer to Vision to Achieve this time. There's a weight turnaround there. So obviously you've got to include Vision to Achieve, who's in good form, as well as the one horse, Happy Analia. She comes back to her best, her favourite distance, 1,000 metres. So for me, the three runners, I think the winner could come from one of them.
1, 5, and 7, and that is your box exacta. Obviously, if and I don't mean it in any sort of sinister way, if the 5 was to run third and the other 2 run first and second, you have got yourself quite some dividend. But it's certainly a model of consistency. Vision to Achieve from the stable of Paul Gatsby. The last double starts with race number 7, and it can be regarded as being a bit of a trappy race. The 2 at the top are the Supernova Star, that is the 3 Calvin a Bib for Wendy Whitehead, and the 6 Attaboy, Gavin Arena, for the Paul Lafferty stable. They dominate, and I'd say the latter named, or the last named, certainly does have the credentials, given the course and distance form of its 2 last outings. That is at Scottsville over the 1,400 meters. Right, how are we going to play this D stakes over the 1,400 meters, Mr. Mayhew?
Cecil, just as I was about to give up on Attaboy, I see that trainer Paul Lafferty has engaged Gavin Larena to ride him. So I'd hate to jump ship at this stage, and he comes to win. So I'm going to be I'm going to give him one more chance. Unfortunately, he seems to lose his race at the start. He loses a lot of ground, but perhaps Gavin can give him some kind of a wake-up call and get him out the pens on time. But if you look past him, it becomes a very wide-open race. So that's why I've opted to go field in the pick 6 and quite a few runners in the place accumulator.
There it is. It is the 6 in the trifecta as the banker for win, and then field of field, and all things being equal, you could get a very nice dividend indeed. But Attaboy certainly has that come on a look, and Gavin Arena in the saddle doesn't do any harm to its chances whatsoever. Right, it is race number 8, the Get Out Stakes, a Bright Future Class 4. It's over the 1,400 meters once again. Right now, we've got 11 runners. By the way, as we were previewing race number 7, I did pick up a scratching, Mr. Mayhew. The Golden Goal, I see, has been scratched in the 7th. So that reduces that field to 7 runners. But back to race 8, no scratchings have been forthcoming. And it looks a very, very open-looking end to proceedings. The 11 Prom Queen being one of those with the 10, that is Skytrix and the Sparkling Jubilee, the 1, for the 5 Radu, and the 4 Ethereal View being the ones that are seemingly set to fight out that finish. But you've got a statement to make, and this is where I happily keep quiet, because it's one of those races where it needs the fundies like yourself to really break it down.
Cecil, I don't generally like these Class 4 fillies races, and to be honest, I can't just be putting fields and fields. I do like the look of Radu. I really do. I think she loves the course. Although she hasn't won over the she's run close seconds, and she's got quite a few of them held on the Colorado Creek run. So for me, she is going to run a very big race. The Tenos Skytrix also does well at this course. And if young apprentice JC Buertis can get her well placed without using up too much energy because she's drawn a bit wide, then I can see her running a good race as well. But I'm taking a chance with Radu. I really do think she'll be right there at the finish.
Radu, the 5 is one that we will be shouting for, screaming for. Informed jockey Kabila Masinyane booting another one home yesterday afternoon for the Robin Clausen stable. Wendy Whitehead, we've said it ad nauseum. She is in a very, very good form. That is a recipe for success, and that is certainly what we wish for Radu to make it a win number 4 from 29 outings in race number 8. That is our preview for Hollywood Bets Scottsville, the conclusive event off at 16:35.